My name is Michelle Brown, and I'm 29. I run a cleaning company called Clean Life. Some people turn their noses up at it, especially my family. To them, I'm just the janitor. But I built this business alone from the ground up. After 7 hard years, it now employs 50 people and makes over $3 million a year. I take pride in every mop I hold and every floor I shine. Still, my family looks right past all of that, especially Kevin, my younger brother, the golden boy studying medicine at a fancy private university. Kevin is 21, and his tuition is over $60,000 a year. For 3 years, I've been paying what student loans wouldn't cover. Our parents couldn't afford it, and I didn't want Kevin's dream to slip away. I remember holding him as a baby when I was just 8. "Take care of your brother," my father had said. That simple request shaped my whole life. While our parents worked low-wage jobs, I helped raise Kevin, making his snacks, helping with homework, making sure he felt safe. I thought we were close, but somewhere along the way, things changed. Kevin's dream started when he got pneumonia in 2nd grade. It was terrifying. His breathing was rough and we rushed to the ER. I stayed by his side the whole week he was hospitalized, wiping his sweat, changing his ice pillows. That's when he met Dr. Anderson. Kevin admired how calm and kind the doctor was. "I want to be like him," he said. From then on, Kevin worked hard in school. I supported him in every way I could, bought him books, helped him study, stayed up late with him before exams. I wanted his dream to come true. To help the family, I started cleaning part-time in high school. At first, I felt embarrassed. People looked down on cleaning jobs. But I soon realized it was real work, honest, skilled, and important. My first job was at a small clinic. The director once told me, "Thanks to you, our patients feel comfortable." That moment changed everything. After graduation, I joined a building maintenance company. Cleaning was tough, but I loved it. I worked early mornings and late nights, managed big teams, and learned every part of the business. Slowly, a new dream began to grow inside me. I wanted to start my own company, not just for myself, but to create a better place to work for others. I'd seen elderly cleaners forced to quit because their bodies couldn't keep up, and moms crying in break rooms because they couldn't adjust their schedules. I wanted to fix that. Encouraged by a coworker who said I had an eye for detail, I started studying business. I read books on management during lunch breaks and attended seminars on weekends. Kevin, meanwhile, kept excelling in school, always ranking at the top. I believed we were both chasing something important. When Kevin applied to high school, the one he wanted had tougher entry standards. I didn't let that stop him. I bought him test prep books, stayed up to encourage him, even got him snacks when he seemed tired. When he passed the entrance exam, he hugged me and cried, "Thank you, Michelle. It's all because of you." I'll never forget that moment. Years later, when I finally had enough savings, $330,000, I left my job and started Clean Life. Banks didn't take me seriously. "Too much competition," they said. "Too risky for a woman." I didn't care. I pushed forward anyway. My first job was cleaning an elementary school. The pay was low, but the principal's kind words gave me hope. One client led to another. I cleaned offices by day, did accounting at night. There were no holidays, no breaks, but I felt alive. One night, a young office worker said, "Must be hard working this late." I smiled and said, "I'm happy to help." He later introduced me to more clients. Slowly, my business grew. I hired a few staff. I worked even harder when Kevin got into medical school. His dream had finally come true, and I would pay for it. When Kevin called to say he got in, I dropped everything and rushed to the university. We found his name on the acceptance list and hugged each other. But when our parents heard the tuition cost, they panicked. "We can't afford this," my mom said. I answered without thinking, I'll pay. My company was doing well, but it wouldn't be easy. My dad looked worried. It's too much for you, he said. But Kevin cried and promised, I'll repay you someday. I worked harder than ever, cut personal costs, took on extra shifts, all to make his dream stay alive. As Kevin settled into medical school, something strange began to happen. Our parents changed. At family events, they beamed with pride when talking about him. Kevin's going to be a neurosurgeon, they'd say. But when someone asked about me, my mom's voice would drop. She's still cleaning. My dad would interrupt if I mentioned a new contract. How long do you plan to keep doing that kind of job? It stung. To them, Kevin was everything. I was background noise. All my sacrifices, my money, my time, my energy, seemed to vanish in their eyes, replaced by Kevin's future. Things got worse when Kevin started dating Tiffany. She was smart, kind, and came from a wealthy family. Her dad ran a top hospital in New York. I was happy for Kevin, but I'd never met her. Every time I asked, he made an excuse. It's exam season. She's busy. Then one night, I saw them outside a fancy restaurant. I called out, but Kevin's face changed. He quickly pulled Tiffany inside, pretending not to see me. I stood there, confused. Why was he hiding me? The answer came soon enough, and it would cut deeper than anything I expected. One day, my mother called. Maybe don't come to this year's Christmas party, she said carefully. I froze. Our Christmas party was tradition. Cakes, gifts, family moments. I had never missed one. Kevin is bringing Tiffany and her parents, she said, voice quiet. It didn't make sense, until I met Tiffany by chance at her father's hospital. She apologized, saying she'd heard of me. We grabbed coffee and became friends. A few weeks later, she confessed something that shattered me. She overheard Kevin telling our parents, Tiffany's family can't know Michelle is a janitor. It might hurt my future. I sat in silence, heart pounding. Kevin, the boy I'd raised, protected, supported, was ashamed of me. My job, my sacrifices, my very identity. He wanted them hidden. Worse, my parents agreed. Michelle will understand, they told him. I was no longer family. I was an embarrassment. Tiffany, tears in her eyes, whispered, My own mom is a janitor. She met my dad at the hospital. She's my hero. She was disgusted by what Kevin said. Soon after, she broke up with him. I couldn't sleep. I stared at my computer, looking at the $100,000 I'd paid for his tuition. I felt hollow. The next morning, I made a decision. I stopped paying Kevin's tuition. A week later, the university sent a notice. My parents and Kevin called me in panic. Michelle, what happened? Didn't you promise? I answered calmly. If my job is so shameful, then my money must be too. My parents yelled, begged, pleaded. But I didn't budge. Let him find his own way, I said. Kevin called, crying. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Please help me. But I had nothing left to give. Not money, not trust, not even sympathy. I let silence answer him. Kevin was forced to face the real world. No more safety net. No more handouts. He applied for a scholarship and found a part-time job. Weeks later, he showed up at my office. He looked thinner, quieter. I'm really sorry, he said. Tiffany helped me see what I couldn't before. He looked around the room, at my staff, at the clean, bright space I'd built from scratch. Your company, it's amazing. I didn't understand before. I thought I was better than you. He paused. But I'm not. I didn't say anything at first. I just let him sit with the silence. After a long moment, I finally spoke. You're on your own now. But if you ever truly need help, not out of pride, but desperation, I'll be there. Kevin nodded, eyes red. I'll try my best, he said, That's how I can make things right. Over the next few months, I saw change in him. He worked at a local clinic on weekends and tutored students at night. He came by my office sometimes to talk, no longer with arrogance, but humility. One day, I want to open a clinic where anyone can feel safe, he told me. This time, I believed him. Kevin's eyes no longer had the shine of pride or superiority. They held something deeper. Experience. Struggle. Regret. I listened as he told me about patients at the clinic who couldn't afford treatment and how he tried to comfort them. I want to help people, he said. Not just cure them, but understand them. He told me he started chatting with janitors, learning their names, asking about their lives. He'd begun to see the people he once ignored. He said, Tiffany's mother, and you both do something important. I couldn't see it before, but I do now. At first, I didn't know how to feel. Part of me was proud. Another part wanted to scream, why now? But I stayed quiet and let time do the talking. Slowly, my family began to shift too. My mother called one night. Michelle, I'm sorry for what I said about your job. I didn't understand how much you've done. I was wrong. Her voice cracked. Days later, my father sent a letter. He never writes letters. It said, My daughter, I'm proud of your strength. We failed to see it before. Please, let's be a family again. I didn't answer. Not yet. I needed space. Distance had kept me sane. But a year later, something unexpected happened. Kevin began an internship at a local clinic, one my company happened to clean. One day, a nurse said, Dr. Kevin really listens to patients. He cares. I watched from afar as Kevin laughed with the janitors and shared stories with patients. There was no pride in his voice anymore, only purpose. And when we did speak, it was real, honest. He finally saw me, not as his big sister who had to help, but as a person who had built something of her own. Our bond began to mend, not through grand gestures, but quiet understanding. He came by one day and handed me a small notebook. Inside were sketches for the clinic he wanted to open. I want to call it Haven Health, he said. A place where nobody feels less than, where a janitor, a doctor, or a patient is treated with the same respect. I felt something shift inside me. Maybe this was what all my work, all my pain had built. Not just a business, but a soul strong enough to teach someone else the meaning of dignity. Today, I still run Clean Life. My staff is like family to me. We support each other. We grow together. Kevin visits often. Sometimes we just sit and talk about the future. His clinic, my next business goal. My parents slowly are learning too. Healing takes time, and trust can't be rushed. But there is movement, and that's enough. I no longer need their validation. I've earned my own. I am not just the janitor. I am Michelle Brown. I clean hospitals, offices, schools, spaces where people live, breathe, and heal. And I do it with pride. This is not just work. It's life.